Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to beautiful Dirk Sherman Memorial Complex right here in EKLAND, Pennsylvania. We bring you the first ever Gremlin Invitational. There's 5 teams. 5 of the top 10 teams in the world are here this weekend. They're going to battle it out to take home the top prize. Today's first game between the Hill United Chiefs and the home team AWP Lumberjacks. Leading off for AWP, Nicholas Kloss playing left field. Batting second, Cody Pennebacher. Jordan Stolario playing center field. Francisco Lombardo playing third base. Carlos Serrano playing shortstop. Tyler Booley will play first. Federico Olheiser is the DP. Daniel Allstott behind the plate. John Valla in center field, and Eric Shapiro will be doing the pitching. For the visiting Hill United Chiefs, leading off, playing center field, Brad Ezekiel. Shane Bolin will be at shortstop. Nick Shales will play third base. Batting fourth, Bruno Matroni. Doing the catching, second baseman, Tony Gonzalez. Batting sixth, Alan Pecker in right field. Batting seventh, Pipilo Lopez, DP. Jonathan Lynch will be in at first base. Batting eighth, Scott Patterson bats ninth in left field. And doing the pitching for the Hill United Chiefs, Adam Folkert. We're very excited to be here. Beautiful Dirk Sherman Memorial Complex right here on the Gremlin Network. We'll be broadcasting all games live in English and Spanish this weekend. My good friend Luciano from Softball Premier handling the Spanish broadcast. We'll have a host of broadcasters doing the English version. I'm Greg Hicks, your host for this first game. We'll let you know who's on the mic as we go through. We're missing our good friend Jim Flanagan this weekend, but he will be on hand remotely to broadcast all of the Gremlin action this weekend. We're looking forward to a very, very good set of ball games. As I said before, we've got 5 of the top 10 teams in the world are here. So the pitching's here, the hitters are here, and we're ready to go. We're up here in the booth down the first base line. It could be a little challenging at times to see what type of pitch it is, but we'll do our best. The view is not optimal for a broadcast, but we are playing softball. We've got great cameras from Luciano, so you'll be able to see that as we progress. Shapiro in the circle for AWP. He's going to pitch to the leadoff hitter, Brad Ezekiel. Beautiful day here in Pennsylvania. Shapiro's first offering just a bit outside. Ezekiel takes for a ball 1. Shapiro not as big as a normal pitcher in this at this level, but does a very good job. Delivers here right down the middle for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ezekiel. Ezekiel's got good power. He's an excellent leadoff hitter. He's got good eye at the plate. Holds his hands high. Changeup by Shapiro, driven to left field, just past the third baseman. Ezekiel's on with a single. Shane Bolin strides to the plate. Shane playing shortstop today. Nobody out in this first game here versus AWP Lumberjacks. Bolin takes called strike right down the middle. No balls, 1 strike to the shortstop, member of the Canadian national team. Sits back, hits one hard down the line, unable to be hauled in by Lombardo. Actually, we have a substitution that's not Lombardo. We'll get to that in a second. They made it's Tyler Booley down there at third. They changed the lineup. So we have runners on first and second. Nick Shales swings at a changeup. Foul tip for a strike. Shales, a member of the Australian national team. Bear with me, we're trying to adjust the change in the lineup here. 1 ball, 1 strike to Nick Shales. Shapiro wants to talk to Allstat. Strolls out to the mound, getting their sign straight. Runners at first and second, right here in the top of the first inning if you're just joining us. Tyler Booley moves over to third base. He was originally slotted to play first. Federico Olheiser is at first base. Shapiro delivers down and low for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to Nick Shales. Shales, one of the best hitters in the world for a very long time, steps back in. It's ball 3 up in the zone. 3 balls, 1 strike. Runners at first and second. Nobody out here in the top of the first inning for the visiting Hill United Chiefs. Shales takes the ball down and out. Ball 4, and that loads the bases. So Hill United has something cooking here in the top half of the first inning. Shapiro in a little bit of trouble against this hard-hitting Hill United lineup. The veteran Bruno Matroni steps in doing the catching today. Bruno, the catcher for the Argentinian national team for many, many years. A member of Hill United for many years. Takes ball 1. Shapiro comes set. Shales swings through for a swinging strike. He had a massive cut on that one. Couldn't connect. 1 ball, 1 strike. Beautiful, beautiful Dirk Sherman Memorial complex here. If you've never been to Elkland, I believe it's over 70 years old, this complex, or this ballpark. Matrino drives a line drive to left center in the gap. That's going to score 2, possibly 3. Shales comes around. He'll score easily, and Matroni in with a stand-up double. So Shapiro gives up a bases loaded, nobody out double to Bruno Matroni, and Hill United jumps up to a 3-0 lead. Second baseman Tony Gonzalez steps up to the plate, takes a called strike right at the knees. Tony, a member of the Mexican national team, plays second base, right field, a very solid player. He's been on the Hill United team for quite a while. Foul tip right off of Allstat. That's going to leave a mark. Allstat goes down. Kind of look at that. Allstat down on the ground. That ball caught him pretty good. There's a foul tip right off the end of the bat and caught him in a very, very good spot. And he immediately went down. His teammates come over, check him out. He seems to be okay. He's up and around. Takes a special person to get back there. Allstat catching without a chest protector. There's a few of those veterans left in the world today that do that. Thank you, Luciano. Got my monitor set up. I can now see. Shapiro comes set. Foul ball. Gonzalez fouls that one down in the dirt. Not quite sure if it caught his toe. But that quickly makes the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Gonzalez down on a swinging strike for the first out of the inning. It's a nice little dipper there by Shapiro to get Gonzalez. Alan Pecker strolls to the plate. Alan Pecker, very fast runner. He hits from the left side. He's got a strong arm in the outfield. He's very dangerous if he gets on, and he has good power. Takes ball in the dirt, ball one. Pecker, a member of the Argentinian national team, as you'll hear that a lot this weekend. Many of the teams have players. Most of the teams have many players from different national teams around the world. So we've got quite a bit of talent here this weekend in Elkland. Pecker takes ball two high. Doesn't offer at it. Matroni at second with one out here in the top of the first inning. Another pitch down for ball three. Shapiro struggling early when he comes across the plate. Hill United has found good contact thus far, hitting the ball hard. It's what happens when you don't throw strikes right off the bat and get ahead of hitters. Takes ball four down on the zone. One out, two runners on. 3 runs already in for Hill United. Vivelo Lopez is the designated hitter, or designated player for Hill United. He steps to the plate. Hitting from the left side, the big, hard-hitting, left-handed Mexican from the Mexican national team. Ball in the dirt off Allstat. That's going to squirt off. Almost goes into the dugout. The runners advance. Shapiro continues to struggle here in the top half of the first inning. Nobody stirring in the AWP dugout. Swings through strike one. That was right where he wanted it and just missed. Swinging through. Shapiro comes set, delivers. Ball in the dirt. Allstat with a nice grab. Saves a run. As Matroni's down at third base, although Matroni would take probably a pretty solid pass ball to the screen for him to score. Does not run as well as he used to. Lopez swings at a high offering for a strike. Foul tip, and it's caught by Allstat for the second out of the inning. We have a courtesy runner at second base, or at third base. Vivelo Lopez will run for Bruno Matroni. That is a courtesy runner with 2 outs. It's a mandatory catcher rule. Anytime there's 2 outs and the catcher's on base, it's mandatory that the teams find a substitute runner, and it has to be a specific player who would be the last hitter available in the inning. Allstat and Shapiro want to talk it over. John Hand, the home plate umpire, trots out with him to speed it up to make sure they are on track and we keep these games moving along. Jonathan Lynch steps into the box wearing number 23. He hits from the left side. He'll be playing first base for Hill. He is a member of the United States national team. Very good young player. He's got an unorthodox style of hitting, but he has had a lot of success in the past few seasons. Takes low for ball one. Lynch fouls one off the left side. Swings a little late. Bounces off the pavilion and out into the parking lot. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jonathan Lynch. Jonathan hails from Missouri. His dad was a longtime player. Foul ball. Straight back to the screen, so Jonathan looks like he's seeing the ball fairly well, but he just can't quite make solid contact. Shapiro's got him a little off balance, swinging a little late this afternoon. One ball, two strikes to the lefty. Swings at a bad pitch in the dirt. It's blocked by Allstott, down to first for the third out of the inning. So Lynch goes down swinging on a bad pitch and ends the inning, but the damage has been done. Hill comes up with 3 runs in the inning, so they lead 3-0 going into the bottom of the first. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Gremlin Softball Network. Welcome back to Elkland, Pennsylvania, here at Dirk Sherman Memorial Complex. You're listening to the Gremlin Softball Network. Hill United jumps out to a 3-0 lead here in the top half of the first inning. We go into the bottom half, and the leader for AWP will be Nicholas Kloss, followed by Cody Pennebaker, Jordan Solario, Francisco Lombardo, Carlos Serrano, Tyler Booley, Frederico Olheiser, Daniel Allstott, and John Valla. We'll set the Hill United Chiefs defensively here shortly. But Adam Folker is in the circle with Bruno Matroni behind the plate. Everybody knows the name of Adam Folker. He's been a very, very effective pitcher for a long time, fighting through some injuries in the last year or two, but seems to be throwing well today as he pipes one down for strike one. Klaus, tall and lanky. He's got very good speed. Pops one straight up. Matroni can't find it, but it's going out of play. No balls, 2 strikes to Mikolos Klaas. The infield, Shales at third, Boland at short, Gonzalez at second, Lynch at first. Little half swing, flies one out to left. It carries deep down in the corner. Patterson can't run it down for a foul ball. That was a little check swing by Kloss, but the ball carried near to the outfield fence, right down in the corner, just out of the reach of Patterson. So Kloss stays alive with 2 strikes. Adam Folker from Australia, one of the leaders of the national team there for years. Throws ball 1 in the dirt, picked up by Matroni. The outfield from left to right, Patterson, Ezekiel, and Pecker. Good speed and good arms in the corners. Ezekiel is a solid outfielder, plays as well as anyone. Out in center field. Folker bounces one, another nice pickup by Matroni. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Folker and Matroni using the card system on wristbands. Matroni flashes a series of numbers translates to a card worn by the pitcher and some of the infielders, so everybody's on the same page. Very popular these days. Klaus pops it up over to the right side. Lynchy drifts over and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So Klaus goes down with a pop-up. Brings to the plate the second baseman, Cody Pennebacher. Pennebacher, very, very good hitters, really come into his own the last few years. He was a part of the USA contingent that traveled to the World Championships in New Zealand. Takes called, strike one right down the middle of the plate. As I was saying, Cody has grown into his own here in the last few years and come on the national scene, catching the eyes of head coach Ron Hackett and making the trip to New Zealand for the national team to represent his country. He's got good power, good patience at the plate. Fulkerd couldn't quite come to grips with the sign. He wants to reset, so he steps off, and we're going to do it again. Down in the dirt. Fulkerd says, I've had enough of the wristband. We're going to get rid of that. Tosses it over to Nick Shales. He says, we're going regular signs. I can't do this. Takes a little off it, swings through it. That's Pennebacher for a strike. Fulkerd seems to like to go at a faster pace, and I think the wristband slows him down. So even in this pitch that he just threw in this one, he's back and ready to throw. And right down just a bit outside, says John Hand. Matroni thought that was a strike, and so did Fulkerd. As you see it again on your screen, you be the judge. Foul tip. 1 ball, 2 strikes to number 11, Cody Pennebacher, the second baseman for AWP. Cody had a good showing for AWP in Ashland, Ohio. Their whole team did very well last weekend. Hill, of course, winning the tournament in Minnesota. Pennebacher, a little check swing. John Hand asked for help. No. He did not go. I believe it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. 3 balls and 2 strikes. My apologies. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The count is full to the second baseman. Fulkerd rocks. Pennebacher fouls one straight back, just off to the right side. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Looked like Fulkerd took a little bit off of that pitch as well. Adam is a hard-throwing pitcher, tall and lanky with long arms. Uses his legs very well. Strike 3 right down the middle. Pennebacher was looking for something else. Looks back at the umpire to not sure what he was asking, because looking at the replay looks like it was right down Main Street. Two outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Jordan Solario strolls to the plate, the center fielder, wearing number 13. Ball outside. You can really see the difference already in Fulkerd's approach. He was wearing the wristbands when the game started, and he didn't like it. He took it off, threw it over to Nick Shales, and it seems like his rhythm has gotten a lot faster, and he seems more confident in the pitch. I think he's just more comfortable without that thing on. Little dipper right down the middle, just at the knees for strike 2. Ball one. Strike 1. Up and out, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. to Jordan Solario. You bear with me here. I haven't been in the booth in a long time trying to get our bearings. The view's kind of obstructed by a banner and a wall, but we're doing the best we can. We hope you enjoy the broadcast. Falkard comes set. Solario fouls one off the right side just over the first base dugout and out of play. Beautiful ballpark, beautiful day here in Elkland, Pennsylvania. Lots of trees and mountains and woods. Right here at this historic ballpark, as I said earlier, over 70 years old. If you can see as the tournament progresses and the camera shots that you see, the signs on the outfield fence is all wood. It's about an 8-foot wooden fence. The backstop and the grandstands are all made out of wood and painted a light blue. Lots of green fencing. It's just a pretty place to play. Swinging foul ball. That ball was down. Solario fouls it into the dirt and stays alive. 2 outs. Hill United leading 3-0 here in the bottom. It's a beautiful 89 degrees right now, so it's a little warm, but we have a slight breeze blowing. Although it doesn't make it into this booth, it's not too bad when you're outside. We have a little bit of rain in the forecast for tomorrow. Falkard takes something off the pitch, and Solario swings for a strike 3. So 3 up, 3 down for the Lumberjacks. Nobody out, nobody on. Excuse me, no runs and nobody on in the inning for the Lumberjacks. The score remains 3-0, Hill United. We're back, and as you can see, as I described the scene earlier, the beautiful shot from our drone here in Elkland. Luciano providing that footage. It's a beautiful ballpark, beautiful day as Hill United takes on AWP. Hill leads 3-0. Going in the top of the second inning, Scott Patterson will lead off. He's the left fielder, takes a strike. Patterson hitting 9th for Hill United. Drives one to the first baseman in the dirt, hustles over. Federico makes a nice little backhanded play. It's tougher than it looked. It was driven right into the ground in front of the plate. Takes a couple steps over and backhands it. Runs back to first and gets the speedy Patterson for the first out of the inning. That brings the top of the shot, Brad Ezekiel, to the plate. 38-foot dipper, bounced about 8 feet in front of the plate. Ezekiel with a single in the first inning. Single just past the outstretched arms of Tyler Booley at third base. And scoring a run. Swing and miss. He had a big cut at that one. Shapiro took a little off. Ball was down in the zone, and Ezekiel swings over the top. We see some action in the bullpen for AWP behind their dugout. It looks like Cisco Sabate, as Ezekiel takes a cold strike just on the corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the center fielder. Tries a changeup and again bounces it at about 38 feet. Pretty nice pickup by Allstott. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ezekiel, as I said earlier, holds his hands very high in his approach, but gets him into the hitting zone early and is a very good hitter. Takes a ball. For 2 balls, 2 strikes. Three. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Shapiro just throws one right down the inner half of the plate. Ezekiel cannot connect and goes down swinging for the strikeout. Shane Bolin strides in, playing shortstop. Police officer by trade in Canada. Takes one high and outside for ball 1. Shapiro trying to take something off of some pitches, trying change-ups and different grips, and he seems to be struggling a little bit. I don't know if he's slipping or if he's hanging on to the ball too long, but he's bounced the last 3 of those at about 38 feet. So he needs to work that out or try a different pitch, because that's not going to get it done. Very close pitch, misses up in the zone. 3 balls. Ball 4 to Brad. Or to Shane Bolin, excuse me. Trots down to first base, and Nick Shales, the third baseman, steps in. With 1 out, runner at first base. Bruno Matroni waits on deck. Shales fouls one down the right field line. Shapiro likes the signal, comes up. Dipper down and in. One out, runner at first base. Off of Allstat's glove, the pitch was high and gets back to the backstop. Bolin rounds second, has thoughts at third, but remains at second base. So Bolin advances on the passed ball. Two balls, 1 strike to Nick Shales. Shales loads but doesn't offer and gets called for a strike on the outside corner. Evens the count at 2-2. Shapiro needs to make a good pitch here with Bolin at second base. Can't afford to give up too many runs early on a good team like Hill United. Shales takes a ball down and away. Brings the count to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Shales takes a bouncing ball for ball 4 and trots down to first base. So runners at first and second here in the bottom half of the second inning. Top half of the second inning, excuse me. Bruno Matroni will be the batter, wearing number 28, a longtime catcher for the Argentinian national team, well known around the world. A very good catcher and a very good hitter. Wild pitch goes to the screen and the runners advance. Allstat had no chance at that one. That was way outside. Shapiro continues to struggle in finding the strike zone. Not something you can afford to do with a top team like Hill United. But he resets, comes for the delivery. Bruno Matroni drives one to the right field wall. It's off the fence, 2 runs will score, and he'll stand up with his second double of the game. So Bruno Matroni, with all 5 RBIs for the Hill United Chiefs, has 2 doubles and advances the score to 5-0. Nick Shales will run for Bruno Matroni at second base. I think there must be 2 outs, Luciano, because they have can't have a courtesy runner. We'll have to look it up. I got I only have 1 out too, sir. I'm not sure why we have a courtesy runner for the catcher with a player that's running, or a player that's playing. Somebody's going to have to clarify that for me. Gonzalez singles up the middle. Shales is going to come around and score. Bringing the score to 6-0. We're going to have a visit from one of the coaches for the Lumberjacks, Chad Pinnebacher. He's going to come out and talk to Shapiro. Actually, he's going to make a change early. He's ahead. The decision was made. So coming into the game for the AWP Lumberjacks will be Cisco Zapate, number 10. He inherits a deficit of 6-0 with a runner at first base. Sabate, the left-hander from Argentina. He too was a member of the Argentinian national team for many years, and has since moved on from that venture, but he's been on the ISC circuit for a very long time. Plays many positions. He can play the outfield, he can play first base, and as you can see here, he can pitch. He's going to face fellow Argentinian Alan Pecker, the right fielder. I'm sure they've seen each other many times down in Argentina in different leagues that they play in Paraná. He needs to be careful with Mr. Pecker because, as I said, he's got very good power. Takes strike 1 at the knees. I see where my mistake was. There is 2 outs. Scott Patterson grounded out to the first baseman to start the inning. I missed that when I was talking earlier, so that's why we had a courtesy runner. Pecker swings at a ball in the dirt. One ball, 2 strikes to the right fielder. Sabate does not throw that hard, but he is crafty. He's been playing this game a very long time. Another ball in the dirt, blocked by Allstott. Bounces out to about 15 feet in front of the plate, and Gonzalez advances to second. That pitch is to the screen, and Gonzalez advances to third. So Sabate comes in and has control issues similar to his protege in the first 2 innings. Struggling to find the strike zone. Pecker turns on one and drives it foul out into the parking lot, down the right field line. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Alan Pecker. Sabate comes set and delivers, hits Pecker in the front leg. Pecker turned to avoid the pitch, but got him right in the calf of his front foot. So he'll hobble down to first base. Runners at first and third. So he's a hit by pitch. Pipe Lopez steps in from the left side. He is the designated player. Very, very good power does Pipilo. He's got a very compact and short swing for a big man that hits the ball as far as he does. As he check swings down to Booley at third base, 2 hands, makes the play to retire the side. But more damage for Hill United in the top of the second inning. They come up with another 3 runs and lead after 1.5, 6-0. We'll be right back. You're listening and watching on the Gremlin Network. We're back here at Dirk Sherman Memorial Park for the Gremlin Invitational, and leading off for the Lumberjacks in the bottom half of the second inning, Francisco Lombardo. Lombardo was slated to play third base to start the game, but a last-minute change has him at the designated player spot. He had some sort of an incident in Ashland last week, and I'm not sure if that has anything to do with him not being in the field, but Fulker looks on, gets the sign. Lombardo takes one down in the dirt. Fulker wants to start over. Comes set again and deals to Lombardo. Called down the middle of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Having a few technical difficulties with the headset, so bear with us here. If it's cutting in and out, we're trying to correct that problem. Lombardo fouls one off of Matroni, and that did not feel good. So caught him just above the shin guard. Waves the trainer off, says I'm good. It's about the 337,000th time he's been hit with a foul tip, so he's used to that. It still never feels good. One ball, 2 strikes to Francisco Lombardo, the designated player. Call, strike 3 by home plate umpire John Hand. Lombardo doesn't like that. He thought he was going to offer, held his swing, but he got called for a strike anyway. It was not on the swing. And he does not like that, and neither does the Lumberjack dugout. Carlos Carreño steps in. He's the shortstop for the Lumberjacks. Sure-handed shortstop. Takes the offering down the middle for strike one. That ball's down, says John Hand. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hill United leads 6-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. They jumped out early, scored 3 runs in both the top halves of the first and second inning. And Folkert delivers a ball in the dirt for ball 2. Stick with us all weekend right here on Softball Premier TV and the Gremlin Network for all of the games and all of the action here in Pennsylvania this weekend. Carano swings through strike 2. The Gremlin Network usually broadcasts only the Gremlin games with Jim Flanagan behind the microphone, but this weekend, since we are the Gremlins are the host tournament, all games will be broadcast from right here in Elkland, Pennsylvania. Foul tip off the end of the bat. Carreño is out in front of that one a little bit, just gets a piece of it to stay alive in the at-bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the shortstop. Wears number 12, hits from the right side. Folkert rocks and delivers just a bit outside. Not sure Adam liked that call either. Shakes his head, but he's been in this situation many times. He'll bounce back. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Called strike 3. So Folkert retires the first 2 batters of the inning, looking on very good pitches on the outside corner. Neither of those hitters like those pitches, but John Hand says, no, they're strikes. Go sit down. 2 outs. Brings up Tyler Booley. Little check swing. Strike 1 on the inside half. Tyler Booley also made the trip for the United States national team to the World Championships in New Zealand. He was part of the junior program and came through the ranks. Catcher by trade as he takes a ball in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike to Tyler. Tyler from Minnesota. Married, I believe he just had his first baby about a year ago. Check swing, asked for help, and yes, he did. And again, AWP dugout lets the umpires hear it. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the lefty. Booley's got decent power. Takes ball 3 in the dirt. Inside, that's ball 3. Once again, I apologize for mixing up the count once in a while. We've got a very difficult vantage point here in the booth today. We've got a banner strung up to protect the equipment from the sun. We've got a wall on one side. It's very tough to get a good look. Folkert comes set, delivers. Strike 3 called, so Folkert comes out and retires the side, gets all 3 hitters looking as AWP comes up with no runs and no hits. So at the end of 2 complete innings of play, the score is 6-0 Hill United. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're here at the top of the third inning. Hill United leads the AWP Lumberjacks 6-0. Jonathan Lynch will start off the inning for Hill United. Jonathan, the first baseman today, left-handed hitter, also plays the outfield. JR Jordan listening to us out in California. Yes, I am, JR. JR's son Jackson was just named to the United States Junior National Team. 17-year-old pitcher, doing very well for himself. He's got a very bright future, and we're looking forward to watching him play this fall. Lynch hits one down in the dirt, down to the right side. Foul ball, ball one. The juniors will be traveling somewhere to South America. I can't keep up. Sometimes we hear Guatemala, sometimes we hear Colombia. I'm not sure what the latest venue is going to be for the Junior World Championships. And there may even be a qualifier, I'm told. Lynch takes a rise ball and drives it out to right field. It turns around Vala. It's off the glove. Lynchy's gonna stroll into three for a stand-up triple. So Lynchy takes a rise ball, drives it to the right field wall. Vala short-armed it and allows Lynchy to go in with a stand-up triple. Scott Patterson will step in for the Chiefs. He plays left field. Lynchy at third base. And we have nobody out here in the top of the third inning. Patterson takes a called strike. Swings through a rise ball from Sabate for the second strike. Sabate seems to have found better control this inning. Perhaps he's getting loose, but he seems to be finding the zone more often than last inning, as he misses just off the outside corner. Not a bad pitch with 2 strikes. Ball 2 down and away. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Just as I was saying, he's found the zone a little more. He's thrown 2 balls off the plate. Lynchy down at third base with nobody out. Patterson swings at a high rise ball and fouls it off the catcher's shin guard. We have a new catcher. Alstad is not catching. I'll have to catch a number and see if I can figure out who has come into the game for them. We're not getting the changes from the umpires. Patterson takes ball above his head. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Scott Patterson. Fouled straight back. Patterson stays alive. Again, fouls one back. Still trying to determine who's doing the catching for AWP. I can't see the number with the chest protector strap. It does not look like Ivan Sachs. And the number doesn't look like anybody else. So we'll have to kind of play that one by ear and see if we can find out who's playing. Takes ball 4, so Patterson goes down 0-2 early and draws a walk. And that'll bring up the top of the order for Hill United, Brad Ezekiel. We have a pinch hitter for Ezekiel. Nick White will bat for Ezekiel here in the bottom, or the top half of the third inning. Not sure he reported to umpire John Hand, but we'll see how that goes. Promptly takes strike 1 from Sabate. Patterson down at first base. Lynch at third base. Patterson swings through. No balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. White swings at a ball over his head and is down on strikes. Shane Boland remains in the game at shortstop, and he will hit here in the top of the third inning. 2 runners on with 1 out. Reached on a hard hit error in the first inning and a walk in the second. Takes a call to strike. This Hill United team laced with veterans. Runner goes, the ball is thrown down. Oh, got him, not even close. Patterson attempts to steal second and is thrown out easily for the second out of the inning. One ball, 1 strike to the shortstop, Shane Boland. Two balls, 1 strike as he takes one down and away. Boland turns on one and drives it deep to left field. They're drifting back, and it's caught right at the wall to retire the side. So Boland catches a rise ball and hits it deepest part of the park in center field, and it's hauled in by Solario to retire the side. So no runs in the top half of the third. After 2.5 innings of play, the score remains 6-0 Hill United. We're back, and we've solved the catching mystery and defensive assignments for AWP in the last inning. Nicholas Kloss came in to catch as Allstat had to leave the game. So Nick Marrero will enter the game for Allstat and play left field. Apologize for that. We're not getting changes from the umpire, John Hand. We'll try to rectify that. Score 6-0 in favor of Hill United, and Federico Oltheiser, the designated or the first baseman, will lead off the inning for AWP. Olsheiser, a big young man, very strong, good bat speed, hits for a good power. Takes a ball in the dirt from Fulkard for ball one. Olsheiser from Argentina. Players from Argentina, the Czech Republic, United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Mexico, Venezuela possibly. From all over the globe here this weekend. Called strike one. Olsheiser shakes his head. Olsheiser was slated to be the designated player, but had to enter the game at first base when Francisco Lombardo could not play defense to start the game. 2 balls, 1 strike. Fulkard delivers one in the dirt, just about bounced on the plate. Gets behind here in the count to the big Argentinian. Three balls, 1 strike to Federico Olsheiser. Fulkard delivers, swing and a miss, or no, foul ball from Olsheiser to stay alive. Trying to find a rhythm here, folks, and I apologize. I don't have a good view of home plate. There's a banner protecting the equipment. I have a monitor, but it's tough to kind of do all that at once, but we'll stick with it and do our best. Olsheiser works a count to ball 4 and trots to first base, so they have a leadoff hitter on for the first time of the game. I believe that's the first base runner they've had. And it comes here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Nick Moreno will stand in as he's substituted for Daniel Alstat. He went into left field, and Klaus comes in to do the catching. So Nick Moreno steps in for a first called strike. Takes strike 2 right down Main Street. Steps out, regroups, takes a deep breath. Don't know much about Mr. Moreno. Very thin young man, looks young. And takes strike 3 right down the middle. So Fulkard, with 3 straight pitches, retires Moreno. Vala steps in, playing right field, and takes ball 1 up and in. Another called ball. Some defensive changes from Hill that I'm picking up. We didn't get them reported from the umpire, but Campbell Anoka plays 3rd. Ball 3 called on Vala. Evidently he called that a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. And there's ball 4. So Vala draws a walk. 2 walks in the inning for Fulkard. AWP has runners at first and second with 1 out. And Mikolos Klaus steps in, the leadoff hitter. So Shales is out with Inoka playing 3rd. We have a new shortstop as well, and I can't catch a number. Fulkard bounces one in the dirt. See if I can pick out who that might be. Klaus swings through the offering from Fulkerd. Fulkerd had a little, lost his footing a little bit and stumbled. Comes way high and wants to talk to Matroni about it. 2 balls, 1 strike. It's 6-0 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Hill leads AWP in this first game of the Gremlin Invitational here in Elkland, Pennsylvania. We're live on the Gremlin Network and Softball Premier TV. Please, if you are enjoying the broadcast, despite my inabilities, make sure you like and share. Subscribe on YouTube so we can continue to bring you the action. It doesn't cost anything to like and share. We're not making any money off it, but we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Fulkerd delivers ball down and in. That evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes to Mikolos Klaus. Ball 4, number 96 strolls down to first base, so that's 3 walks in the inning. And it loads the bases. The batter, number 11, second baseman Cody Pennebacher, steps in with a chance to put some damage on the board for AWP and regain some respect in this game. Strike 1 called on Pennebacher, and he did not like that one. He's going to talk to John Hand about it. It's not going to change the call, but he lets him know how he feels. Matroni glances down at the runner at third and offers the sign to Fulkerd. Pennebacher fouls one straight back. He just missed that one. No balls, 2 strikes to Cody Pennebacher, batting with bases loaded here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, trailing by 6. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Hard dipper on the outside part of the plate, and Pennebacher cannot catch up to it, so he goes down on strikes for the 2nd time this game and the 2nd out of this inning. Pennebacher will run for Klaus as the courtesy runner, as the Klaus is now doing the catching. Jordan Solario will step in. It's the last chance this inning, possibly, for the Lumberjacks to put something together, put a run or 2 on the board, and stay in this ball game. Fulkerd can't see the signs, so he backs off. Now he's ready. He comes set. Takes a little off and right down the middle for a called strike 1. Adam using more of an off-speed pitch last year and this year than I've seen out of him in quite a while. Never really had the need to use the off-speed pitch much, as he was pretty dominating with his hard stuff. But he is a pitcher, and he's adapted well. He's still a very, very effective pitcher, still throws hard. And delivers that one down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jordan Solario, the center fielder for AWP. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Bouncing ball right back to Adam Folkert, who underhands it over to Jonathan Lynch at first base to retire the side. So AWP threatens on 3 walks by Folkert, but cannot capitalize and leave 3 on base. So at the end of 3 complete innings, the score remains 6-0. Welcome back. We are here in the top half of the 4th inning. Hill United leads this one 6-0. Right here in Elkland, Pennsylvania at the Gremlin Invitational. 5 of the top 10 teams in the world are here this weekend, battling it out for the top prize. Campbell Inoka from New Zealand steps in. Campbell, a hard swinging young man, mostly a pull hitter. Comes from the very talented Inoka family from Auckland, New Zealand. Brother Ben Inoka playing for the Gremlins. Thomas Inoka, I do not believe, came over this year, but was with these Hill United Chiefs last season. Campbell was a former member of the New Zealand national team. An injury on a finger this year kept him out of that lineup in New Zealand. Takes a ball up. Our scoreboard says 2 balls and 1 strike. Klaus offers the sign to Sabate, who delivers just outside. Three balls and 1 strike to the third baseman, Campbell Inoka. Campbell is traditionally an outfielder by trade. He stepped in the 2nd or 3rd inning for Nick Shales at third base and takes strike 2 down the middle of the plate. Just didn't like that one. He was ready to hit, didn't offer. Takes ball 4 up and out of the zone, and Campbell Inoka trots down as the leadoff hitter is on again for the Hill United Chiefs. Bruno Matroni steps into the box. Takes a ball down in the zone as the skipper, the brand new skipper for the Niagara Stompers, Coach Ron Hackett, steps into the box and just ran out of here faster than I've ever seen him move when I said that. Good talk, Ron. So Matroni takes a ball and a strike as that one is delivered just a bit on the top of the zone. He did not like it as he is a patient hitter. For his first strike, he let that one go. For those that do not know, Coach Hackett will take over for the Niagara Stompers this tournament for the first time of the year. That news came out midweek, so he will assume the reins for the Stompers for the remainder of the season. As Matroni fouls one off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sabate delivers, and it's fouled off by Matroni just out in front of that off the end of the bat. Sabate offers, and it's high. Scoreboard says 2-2. We'll take a look here officially here in a second. Matroni hits one deep to center field. It's way back, but caught at the fence by the center fielder Solario. Campbell Inoka tags up at first and advances to second. Matroni caught a pretty good pitch and drove it again to center field and was caught right at the wall by Solario. So Matroni has had good contact all three at bats. And Tony Gonzalez will step in for Hill United. Tony Gonzalez, a member of the Mexican national team, playing second base. He can play the outfield. He's been with these Chiefs for a number of years, part of a couple of world championships, I believe, and is part of the Team Mexico national team. Fouls it straight back, a little out in front of that one for his first strike. According to my notes, Hill has used just about every position player except Josh McGovern. They do have Daniel Chapman, Michael Hall-Braddock, and Caleb Keeshing on the bench, but those are predominantly pitchers. Ball down and away to Tony Gonzalez. The breeze has died down here, and it's become a little stifling here in the booth. My good friend Luciano from Softball Premier says it's muy caliente. Gonzalez hits one to right field. Vala goes back and makes the catch. Inoka tagging and will stand up easily at third. So Gonzalez cannot drive in Inoka, but does advance him to third on a fly ball to right field. And Alan Pecker will step in against Cisco Sabate. He walked in the first inning, was hit by pitch in the second inning, and stands in now and takes strike one at the bottom of the zone. As I've said before, Alan Pecker, very, very fast runner. Very strong arm in the outfield. He can do a lot of things. He does pitch a little bit as well. Drives one past the first baseman, and Campbell Inoka will score as Vala gets the ball into second base in a hurry. So Pecker with a single increases the lead to 7-0 for Hill United here in the top half of the fourth inning. The big lefty, Pipilo Lopez, will step in, wearing number 9, pants up high. Another ground ball past a diving Pennebacher. It gets past Valley in right field, and Pecker is going to score easily from first base on the misplay by Vala as Pipilo advances to second on the error. So it's a single and an error for Pipilo Lopez. And an RBI. Well, I don't know if he gets the RBI. I'm not that good of a scorekeeper. But Jonathan Lynch will step in here with Pipilo at second. We've got 1 out, 2 outs here in the top of the fourth inning. Klaus scoops a ball in the dirt for ball 1. So 7-0 here in the top of the fourth inning. Hill scoring 3 in each of the first 2 innings. and then the 7th run here in the 4th. Lynchy fouls one straight back into the ground. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jonathan Lynch. Those of you who don't know Jonathan, the best way I know how to describe him is he looks like he's going 90 miles an hour with his hair on fire 90% of the time. Flailing all over the place, arms, legs, knees, spit flying out his face. He just plays hard consistently as he takes a rise ball and drives it over the wall in right center field. And I got to hurry because he sprints around the bases. Jonathan Lynch with a 2-run homer here in the top of the 4th inning. That is, see what I mean by his hair on fire as he puts on the big Chiefs hat. Jonathan Lynch catches a rise ball and drives it over the right field wall. And it is now 9-0 in the 4th inning. Scott Patterson will step in here for Hill United. Grounded out to the first baseman in the 2nd inning. Walked last inning. Excuse me, that was Lynch. Walked last inning. Can't read my own writing, folks. Bear with me. Little check swing. John Hand asks for help. No ball, says first base umpire. So as I was saying, Scott Patterson grounded out to first base, walked, and now he steps in here and drives one straight back to the screen. He had a pretty good cut at that one. Did number 99, Scott Patterson. Patterson can look overmatched at times against the hard throwers, but against the pitchers that rely more on the change, and there's a good change up from Cisco Sabate to get a swinging strike. He's got a pretty good swing. Takes ball high. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Scott Patterson. Takes ball 4 just down in the zone. And John Hand hears it from the AWP dugout. That's a surprise that they would question a pitch. Usually very mild-mannered over there. So Nick White, who came in last inning for Brad Ezekiel, steps in here with 1 out. And a runner at first base. Pops one straight up. Sabasco gets out of the way. Sabate gets out of the way. And Tyler Booley makes the grab for the 3rd out of the inning. But Hill comes up with another 3 runs here in the top of the 4th inning. 4 runs here in the top of the 4th inning, excuse me. The score is 10-0. We're back here in Elkland, Pennsylvania at the Dirk Sherman Memorial Complex. Hill United versus AWP, and they lead 10-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Adam Folkard still in the circle for Hill United. I believe he's allowed 4 base runners, and they've all been on walks. So Francisco Lombardo steps in. 39-footer bounces in front of the plate for ball 1. Francisco Lombardo, a very, very good hitter, also from Argentina. Pancho takes a called strike right down Main Street and at the knees. Lombardo, if he runs into one, can put one in the backfield 2 over there in a hurry. He's a very good hitter with very good power. But he takes strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Francisco Lombardo, the designated player. I think he does have some sort of a nagging injury, which is why he's not playing defense, but I don't know how that affects his swing. He is a gamer. If he's able to play, he will. Ball 2 down in the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The clouds have kind of come in and blocked the sun, so it's cooled down a little bit, but there's just no breeze anymore into the booth. Lombardo swings through for strike 3 on a hard down ball by Adam Volkert. So he goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning. And Carlos Carreño, not sure if it's Carreño or Sereno. I would be Sereno from California, but I don't know this young man personally, but I would go with Carreño, I'm told by Luciano. Our announcer here in the PA system got it correct. Oh, I see. You guys conspired against me. You don't see. We got to work together. All right. Now I know the score. Team up on the fat white guy. Here we go. All right. Carreño fouls one off. No balls, 1 strike. Bottom of the 4th inning. Hill United leads 10-0. Volkert rocks back and comes set at the waist. Hop and a deliver down in the zone, John Hand says, for ball 1. So I was saying the sun has gone behind the clouds. It's kind of hazy. If there is a breeze, I can see a flag off in the distance. It looks like it's blowing straight in from center field, but our flag on this field is not moving. Strike called by John Hand. So I'm looking off in the distance at the campground, and there's a flag blowing like the wind would be blowing from center, but as I look at the flag here at this ballpark, there is nothing. And it feels like there's no breeze. Volkert loses his footing and bounces one in the dirt right in front of the plate. Not sure if that was a good pick by Matrone or if he didn't get a choice. It just kind of bounced into his glove. Two balls, 2 strikes to Carlos Carreño. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Carreño, I don't know if he hurt himself, but it sure looks like he pulled something on that swing as he drops the bat and stumbles back to the dugout. I really think that young man hurt himself on that swing. We'll keep you posted if we get any news about that. Tyler Bruley steps in with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Takes a ball. One ball, no strikes. Booley bounces it off the plate over to the second baseman Gonzalez, flips over to Jonathan Lynch to retire the side. So AWP comes up with 0 again here in the 4th. And at the end of 4 complete, that is your ball game. So on a shortened game by run rule, Hill United defeats AWP 10-0. Stay with us, and we'll be back here in about a half hour for our next game, and that would be AWP and the Niagara Stompers. We'll be right back on the Gremlin Softball Network, courtesy and produced by Softball Premier TV.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand, so you can watch when you want. Become a member now, softballpremiertv.com.